So when I first started my scavenger hunt, I focused on the five things I could see first. I went to the nature trail not too far away from my house and found some really interesting things. One thing I saw was the long bridge going to the POW and KIA memorial sites. The trees draped over it beautifully. Then it was the KIA and the MIA memorial site. I walked down the path and there were many names written in the stone. So I offered a quick prayer as I continued on my hunt. I walked down the path and I noticed a cat eating and couldn't help but to get a few shots of it. The cat was very cute. The next thing I saw was an old train. It has a lot of history in my town, and it was amazing to look at up closely. The final thing I saw on my journey was a baby water snake. I about jumped out of my skin when I noticed it in the water. The next thing I focused on is what I felt and heard: the rain hitting my skin, the bug bites itching on my arms, the rusted metal of the old railway equipment, and the rough wood on the old well. Those were the feelings that stood out the most for me. The birds chirping, cicadas making their noise, and the leaves crunching beneath my feet were also outstanding. I loved being out in nature and hearing everything around me. I found it to be incredibly calming. The final two senses I explored were my smell and my taste, my two favorites. I got to smell flowers and creek water, which always took me back to my childhood days of stomping around in the creek and getting muddy. I used to apologize to my mom by bringing her flowers I found out in the woods, only to be sprayed down by a hose. I brought her the prettiest smelling ones. My taste were these stale tortilla chips that I had on me, which also reminded me of my childhood. Life wasn't easy for a little while when I was young, and I always remember that I used to eat stale tortilla chips with a little hot sauce for flavor. It made me reflect back on those times as I sat on the park bench. Thank you for listening.